Hi, I'm Rick at Rick Turns, and today's video is... Hi, I'm Rick Morris. This video is about how I'm going to make a quick and dirty drying box for this particular bowl blank. And when I say quick and dirty, I also mean cheap. For the box in the drying box, cardboard box. Not just any cardboard box, mind you. This is a Home Depot heavy-duty cardboard box left over from my last household move. To push some air into the box, circulate it, what I have here is a small computer fan. And to provide a tiny bit of heat, I've got a 53-watt light bulb in just a small lamp holder that I got from Home Depot for around $3.50 or so. Time to get started. So, let's take a closer look at fans. Now you could use, say, one of these small 5-inch fans that just sit on your desk, or you could use like a 12-inch fan that you might have sitting around your house or something like that. Both of those move relatively a large amount of air. For a drying box, you don't want that much air going through. You want a lower speed fan. Because if you push too much air through there, it's liable to dry out too quick. And you don't want that. You want the piece, or what I want anyway, is for a roughed out bowl to dry out in maybe 5 days or so. And in the previous drying box that I built, which was big and wide and had 3 shelves and would do, probably 8 bowls at a time if I had them, I would generally get a bowl dried out safely, that is without cracking, in about a week. So I want a low speed fan. And so what I'm going to use for that is a computer case fan, and that is what this is right here, is a computer case fan. Now this one is a 120 millimeter case fan, and I've got a smaller one right here, which is an 80 millimeter case fan. You'll find both of these in computers today. You can buy these at computer parts stores. You can buy them at Amazon. I used to build all my computers from components, and that's why I happen to have some computer fans around, and it is, after all, a pretty good choice for a drying box because it doesn't move a lot of air. So if you want to use a computer fan, go to Amazon, search for computer case fan. You'll find some there. Or if you're near Circuit City or Fry's or something like that, you can go in there. They've got computer parts. You can pick up a case fan there. Now, both of these case fans run off of 12 volts. This is 12 volts, but it'll go as low as 5 volts and still run. Now, 5 volts is good. 12 volts is good, 5 volts is good. The reason 5 volts is better is that 5 volts is what is in USB chargers. So if you buy a little USB charger like this, or if you have one that came with a phone like this one right here, they put out 5 volts. So for one of these case fans, if you don't happen to have a 12 volt charger around, this one came with a router, I think. Don't have the router anymore, but I save all these little power blocks. It'll say right on the power plug here, you see these little labels right here. If you look at them real close, it'll say what the output voltage is, and that's what you want to look at. This is a 12 volt. This is a 5 volt. This one, which is a 5 volt, and oh yes, it actually does say it on there right there. What I'm going to use is USB connector, USB power. And I've got a little USB cable here that I've stripped the leads off of. Now if you do this with a USB cable, you might have one like this. If the cable came with a little charger, you'll probably have one with 2 wires on it. But if it's actually one you would plug into your computer or your smartphone or something like that, it'll probably have 4 wires. And if it's got 4 wires, look for the red and the black. That's positive and negative. The other 2 wires would be white and green, which are data wires. This one came with a little power transformer like this, and so it's only got a positive and a negative. And for some reason the negative seems to be white instead of red. Who knows? So I'm going to connect these together just like this. Okay, and now I'm going to plug this in to the transformer, and once again we have it running, but the difference is significant between 5 volts and 12 volts. The 120 millimeter fan here, it definitely is going to move more air than the 80 millimeter fan. At the same speed, of course, you would expect that. And my drying box that I built some years ago, and which I don't have anymore, I just used a small fan like this, just a small 80 millimeter fan, and it moved plenty of air. And I think that's probably what I'm going to use this time. And I'll use it, I think I'll use it at 12 volts. Now let's talk about the heat needed for the drying box. And you don't need a lot of heat, believe me. At least not for the one that I'm building. In my big drying box that I built, I would put in a 100-watt lamp to supply heat. I found that was too much. So then I dropped back to a 75, and frequently when I put fresh bowls in there, I would go down to a 60-watt bulb, and then in a few days I might put in a 75-watt. So you really don't need a lot of heat. And what I'm going to use for this, I've just got a standard lamp socket here with a switch on it. This connects to a lamp cord, which in this case is going to be this extension cord. I'm going to cut off the end of it there, wire it in here. I'm going to just cut a little block of wood and mount this on the block of wood. I'm going to take this chunk of wood over to the bandsaw and just slice off maybe an inch thick and make it a little smaller. Then I'm going to cut a groove on one side for the cord, drill a hole in the top to fit this, and that is how it's going to stand up. And so we have it, just a little block of wood. Now I'm going to put a maybe 3/8 of an inch groove down here, just using the bandsaw again. Could do it on the table saw, of course. All right, it's rather ragged at the bottom, a little bit wider than I had intended, but it doesn't really matter. I want to put a hole in here, going right through, connecting to that groove that I cut. And let me see what size hole I need. That is 9/16 of an inch, right on. And that is a good enough fit. It's a tight fit. And that's what I want. I'm not going to bother to glue it in or anything else. Just going to sit in there just like that. Put this piece on. Now we put this back on. And we run this right up here. Push that back down through there. Push that in there. I'm going to screw in a light bulb and just make sure it works. Discovered light. Now I'm going to solder these together. And of course I want to cover up the entire joint. Don't want an exposed wire there, even a low voltage exposed wire. And now for the box assembly, Before we get started, I just want to offer a word of caution. I am a trained professional cardboard assembler working on a closed course. This could be dangerous. If you have never worked with cardboard before, or if you're uneasy about doing this level of technical work, then stop, contact, get a trained cardboardologist to come in and do this for you. Remember, paper cuts can kill and cardboard cuts can kill her. So I'm just going to take this and open it up. Now this step right here is something probably anyone can do from home, but we go into the more advanced stuff. You might need to study a little bit. Be sure to watch the video a few times. Make sure you know what you're doing here. And I'm going to seal it with duct tape. Not just any duct tape, Gorilla duct tape, because it's what I happen to have at the moment. But you can use just about any kind of tape, and if I weren't too lazy to go in the house and get my packaging tape, that's what I would use. All right, this piece is nice and solid. I'm not going to bother to seal it up real tight. There's no point in it. I want the air to escape, and I'll probably even drill or make some sort of a hole in the top for the air to get out. So there we have the basic carcass of the drying box. Now it's time to fit the fan on. All right, so the fan's going to go right there. Now I'm just going to cut out that circle. There's my hole. There's my fan. I got a glue gun here. This is what I'm going to be using. I'm just going to put glue on each one of these tabs down here on the outbound side of the air. Alrighty, it is glued up. And there we go. Make sure I got it right. Yes. Well, my drying box is almost done. Now, let me see here. This is pretty cool. Yeah, in order to close the lid, all I'm going to do is lay a block of wood on it. And just the way the box is stretched, it leaves an opening here, right here. And there's an opening right in here too. So, I'm not going to have to do anything to create an exhaust for the warm air. I'll just set a block right here to keep the lid partially closed. Warm air will exit. Now, I'm going to use some aluminum foil and create a little tent here just to make it slightly more efficient. I'm going to put about, I think maybe 4 pieces here, just to make it stiffer. And that is the only reason. Fold it there. And fold it there, and that is my super spiffy heat tunnel. Almost ready to go. Start drying this bowl out. First thing I want to do though, I'm going to weigh it. The way I used to determine if it was dry was to weigh it once a day, and when the day-to-day loss was 3/10 of an ounce, I would pronounce it dry. So I'm going to compare that to the new moisture meter that I have. So I'm going to weigh this right here. I've got 5 pounds, 3.1 ounces, and I'm going to write that on the bottom of the bowl, along with the date, which is the 17th. I'm going to use the moisture meter, and I think I'm going to take it from the inside of the bowl. Oh, I want to get it from the same place each time. Let's see what we got here. And it helps to turn on the moisture meter. (19.6%). So I'm going to write that right beside the weight there. That is 19.6. And I'm going to come out every day, take it out of the drying box, weigh it, see what I get. So, to start the drying, first of all, this is probably not a surprise, but step number one, put the bowl in the box. Now, as you can see, at least I hope you can see, the bowl is a little too wide to lay flat. I've got about 12 inches here, the bowl's about 13 inches, but it goes in there catty-cornered pretty well. All right, and you can see light bulb, fan, drying box, and all right, that's good. Now I need to plug in 2 plugs there. So let's put in the first plug. Oh yeah, put a switch on the light bulb. There is, of course, no switch on the fan. You have to plug it in. Didn't bother with a switch on the fan. All right, that's good. Yeah, I can feel the air coming out there. Now this is what it looks like from the point of view of the airflow. I'm not going to do anything else with this until tomorrow when I come out here to check it. It's about noon now, so I'll be coming out tomorrow to check it. Maybe I'll even check it later this afternoon just to make sure everything's okay. But the heat of the light bulb, it's not very significant. As I say, this is only a 53 watt light bulb. It's not near the, yep, it is not near the cardboard, and it's not touching the tin foil. That's it for my quick and dirty and really cheap drying box. Did I spend any money on this? I spent some money on it. I bought the light socket for about $3.69, I think it was. And everything else I already had. If you're going to make it, you'll need a fan. Probably a computer fan, as I mentioned before, is best. But you can get those really cheap. You can get 5 to 12 volt power supplies really cheap off Amazon as well. So that's all I have right now. Next video, this will be dry. I'll take it out, show you what I got, and we'll start on finish turning. See you next video.